Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the last day of April, and it certainly has been an extraordinary month in my view. We've had upgrade after upgrade after upgrade, and today we've got this quite weird, strange energy that's been coming in. So that's why I wanted to come on, because I've been feeling it, and then I attuned to it, and then I talked to a couple of ascended masters about it, and I wanted to kind of bring you the news, because even though it feels weird, it's very, very exciting. Hi, Stacey. Hey, anyone else who's here, pop your name in the chat if you feel comfortable doing that, and say hi. So I'm just going to speak briefly about the energies that I saw coming in yesterday, and then what they developed into today, and then what my interpretation that I've been given of what that is, which is actually really exciting. Like, it's off the charts exciting, because it's a whole new level, I want to say. Hi, Leah. Hi, Charlotte. Thank you. Hi, Jackie. Oh, good afternoon to you. Yeah, so yesterday, certainly on the 29th, there was energy coming in that showed up in a star shape. So that is something else that's showing up very strongly and has been maybe all month. So if you think about, I'm not sure how much of the month, but anyway, it's been showing up this month. So how it is shown to me is as a series of infinity symbols. And so if you want to build it this way, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So if you make a cross out of two infinity symbols crossing over one another at the center, and then you place on top of that another cross, but through the diagonals, and then you do that through the center points until you've got a cluster that becomes a star. So it's like a star cluster made up of infinity symbols, and this is how a lot of the energy has been showing up this month. And probably I hadn't explained that at all, but that's what I've been seeing. Anyway, yesterday we had this light showing up like that, though, as gold and as broad, so like broad sweeping bands of light in that star cluster. And I asked what it was, and I was shown it was golden illumination, and it's time for all of us to come into our own illumined presence. This is our God, Goddess presence, our mighty I Am embodied. So we are being asked to claim that, to step into it, to embody that now, and to do that through this golden gateway that showed up yesterday. And today it's showing up in that energy, but as the star, and back to the infinity symbols. And it's been cut, so it started coming in here for me, I don't know, somewhere around midday, and it's 6 o'clock in the evening here. I'll just find what I've written. So this morning I wrote these notes. There is a stillness and a presence in the energy today. Sit in this, dive deep into self, and be in self-inquiry, as this is a perfect time to be asking self, what sits here for me now? What sits here that's ready to be released? Because in a way we're on a precipice, or at a juncture where the old can go pretty simply. So ask yourself, what is here to be released now? What is no longer relevant or appropriate or required for me in my new way of being? And ask your heart these questions as well, and check in on grieving. There's a lot of grieving, a lot of tears, and this is all us releasing from various experiences that we've had in the past that have been held in the cells that are now able to be accessed because we're going into the deeper layers. Hello, Pauline. Welcome. Yeah, so for me, there's been this experience too of kind of sitting in the void. I know some of you have been doing that as well, kind of curious about what's going on. It's like we can't quite find our feet on solid ground, even though we've been grounded, but we're moving. We're still in this movement from one dimensional space to the other, and we are in this potential of really clearing out. Yeah, so I today I asked to release anything and everything that doesn't serve my highest good. Yeah, and I had, when I did that, it was interesting. So I think, yeah, I wrote this morning, just this little bit. No, I'm not sure when I wrote this part. So I started having all of this tingling in my brain, which became more precise as the afternoon went on. So I felt this tingling in my brain, and when I asked to release anything and everything that didn't serve me in my new and higher way of being, I did some work with Gaia, and it was really interesting because it was like all of this. The only way I can describe it is you think about a plate, like on a mincer or something with holes in it, that everything gets extruded out. It was like there was this grey matter coming out of my back, all around my back, and it was yeah, it was a smoky grey, and it was sort of coming out like it was being extruded out of my back. And it was definitely old stuff, gunky stuff going. I didn't kind of bother really too much about what that was. I was just letting it come out and watching it. And Gaia was scrubbing my back as that was coming out. And then I was having, oh yeah, and it was coming out of the back of my solar plexus, which kind of makes sense, I suppose, because we hold a lot of our emotional old stories there. And then, yeah, this tingling in my left brain. And then come maybe 12:30 is what I wrote here. Well, come 12:30-ish, I got pulled deeply into drowsiness. So it was, spirit's pretty amazing, isn't it? So I had a client this morning, and then and then one of my other clients, Reese, needed to move. She needed to move her appointment. So then I had a space, and then I had a client this afternoon. And so in this time where I had this space, I was taken into this deep kind of drowsiness. And I know when that is happening for me, that's when I know a really big wave of energy is coming through. So for me here, it was around midday, 12:30. It was like, wow, yeah, I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this. It was, can I stay awake through this? Because it was just really pulling me into that sleepiness, into that drowsiness. And I asked about it, and I got told DNA upgrades, mind resets, brain energy related to the higher mind, and this holistic balancing coming into the brain. That's what I was told, related to DNA refinement work with reconnection. So it's really some of the finer work to do with our DNA coding. And then this energy coming in, it's as though we might be, well, we are. I just don't know how to speak it really, but it's like we've done this whole level with all of these aspects of self, with our chakra development and openness and attuning, and clearing and then coming into the higher. But now we're doing that on the same, it's hard for me to find the words for it. We're doing that on a higher level to the higher aspects of each of our chakra centers. So that where that energy was coming in, I got told that was the Bindi. Now I don't know. I think that's correct, but it's where it's like on the top where the skull comes together at the back, not the soft cavity, but above that, where the crown of the hair is in there. That's the Bindi. And so it's so interesting. So that's where I was feeling this energy. And I asked about it and I got told it's a chakra that's not, it's in the, I think you call it the causal body or the subtle body. So it's not quite in the physical, it's in the next layer of the energetic body. And I was feeling this energy coming in there. So I ask about it, I get told that it's like we're having, so maybe we've had our psychic vision developed, maybe our clairvoyance has been really good, and now we're getting an upgrade to another level. So that relates to everything. We're going to have these higher level upgrades through everything. But today it was to do with that. It was to do with that Bindi. So I went and looked it up and I can tell you these things. Oh, and then I called upon one of the Ascended Masters who works with my Ray, and it was really interesting because he was doing this with his hand up the back of my head and like pushing his fingers through my hair and massaging the back of my head up from my neck. And I asked him and he said it's assisting this alignment. And then also, and some of you will know the answer to this, I don't, but I do know that there is one. I just don't know the specifics, but it links to the spine as well. So wherever this Bindi chakra opening links into the spine, I was feeling some energetics and some tingling in the rear aspect of my lower heart, solar plexus, in that area. Yeah, and so it might also have some linking, but I haven't checked this, to do with like our future dreams and visions. Yeah, so this higher advanced psychic vision related into the rear, into the spine, into the rear head, into the lower heart in the rear of the spine, and a bit below that. It's called the Bindu, the Bindu, Bindu chakra. It relates to, and it relates to the Amrita fluid, the eternal fluid, the fluid of youthfulness, eternity, the eternal life. That's the chakra that activates that. And so as that energy moved, I could also feel that coming into my temples and the lower occipital. And I was shown golden codes arriving, and they looked quite similar to the fire codes, but they were vibrating so fast that I couldn't tell you any of the symbols. So it was a very high vibration of like fire letters in gold. And what I got told is that this relates, to me, this is just like next level stuff that we're being taken to and through. This relates to the creation of your own inner temple, housing the higher aspects in the physical. So I also got shown, and I don't have any verification of this yet, but it's on the edges of it will come, I guess. But it's that we will physically house some of the chakras that are in our subtle body. They'll come in more into the physical. So yeah, some of the chakra points outside the body will now come into being housed in the physical, is what I wrote. We are in the beginning time of this, the preparation of the preparation of the physical vehicle, the physical body, for the commencement of this. And hello, Amanda. And Jackie's saying she's been feeling that same sleepy feeling, very much the same, a lot of energy. It's very high vibration energy. It's maybe higher than we've perceived before. Yeah, so these are notes that I took from from something I Googled, and I apologize because it disappeared off my screen before I registered where I got it from. So the Bindu Chakra brings about improved physical, psychic, and spiritual health. It's just so perfect, isn't it? It helps to quieten the emotions and brings harmony and a sense of well-being, which is where we are moving to. It's also known as the moon center. So you may have heard it called that. In Hindu metaphysics, it's considered the point at which, and it blows me away, honestly, the point at which creation begins and may become unity, which is what we're doing as a collective. That's what we're doing as humanity. So it's just all a perfect fit. It's also the sacred symbol of the universe, of the cosmos in its unmanifested state. And there's this concentration on that. So putting your energy focus into that can relieve anxiety and depression, can relieve nervousness and feelings of oppression in the heart. So if you're feeling contracted in the heart, then you might, take your finger and find that area where your hair, your hair whirls as well. That's another way of finding it, but it's in there, and I guess you'll find it somewhere according to the energy that you felt, right? But yeah, pressing in there can help to. It's also a Sanskrit word. I just love how it all comes together. It's also a Sanskrit word meaning point, drop, or dot, and it's from that chakra that the nectar of God is released, the Amrita. What else did I write here? It bestows, I think I read that it releases feelings of oppression in the heart. Yes, it bestows physical and mental health and vitality and youthfulness because it produces the nectar of immortality. So the benefits of this chakra being opened include improved eyesight, greater awareness through the further awakening of the pineal gland, inner harmony and emotional balance. So there is that. And that's really what I wanted to come on and speak to you about, because it seems to me that we're in this place of receiving something that we haven't received before, which is difficult to comprehend, but that to me adds up. That information that came adds up to me in terms of what I got given psychically, and what I got given in attuning to the Ascended Masters, and then what I got given when I looked it up. And then I came back to it. So I had to go off and do something else, and then I came back to it, and the number 1444 came up. I've been seeing the fours, the 44, the 444 everywhere. And so I looked that up as a message, and the 444 is a message of encouragement that signifies the unconscious mind and the direct link to the universe or the transcendent. So that's pretty interesting as well. And in twin connections, this number 1444 means that both twins are working towards a relationship that's grounded in harmoniousness and is stable. So a lot of energy working in that infinity shape. So, coming in that infinity, an asterisk. Think asterisk made up of, I don't know how many, a dozen at least, infinity symbols that turn. Oh yeah, so this was the other thing I was showing today. So let's try it. I'll just see what is here on the thread. But I want you to imagine that you're creating this an infinity symbol star with 1, 2, 3, with 8 lines in it. Those girls saying 6 nights of not sleeping beyond 2:30 a.m. Not feeling exhausted though. Very vivid dreaming. Had Knights Templar cross as sacred geometry in the morning. Fantastic. Yeah, I've been waking up. I don't have a clock in my room. I need to get a new clock. But I've been waking up at around that time too, and feeling like I've actually had enough sleep. That Jackie's saying they say the 144 is our backbone. Nice. And Craig's been experiencing a golden cross in meditation in recent days also. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Yeah, so I want you to imagine that, and let's make it gold, that you've made a gold cross of 2 infinity symbols crossing over one another, and then another cross. So now you have 4 infinity symbols crossing over one another at that center point. And then this idea came to take that and then to create it as this flat disc. And so I want you to try, this is a healing idea. So you could have it so as a flat disc and then spin it. So if you think about spinning a coin on a hard surface, think about doing that with that asterisk, and imagine that you are placing it beneath your soul star chakra, your earth star chakra, the crystalline earth star chakra under the earth. So let's put it 1200, put this spinning disc 1200 on its side, spinning 1200 beneath the surface of the earth, underneath where your feet are. And then visualize it moving up while it's spinning. It's moving up, it's moving through your energy field and through your physical field and through centering through your central vertical pillar. So it's rising up. And we're inviting that to be clearing out anything that is ready to go. Hi, Ciela. Yeah, we're just doing a little visualization, Ciela, imagining that we've got a disc that's made up of 4 infinity symbols crossing over one another. And we're spinning it like a coin, and we're placing it 1200 under the ground, and we're moving it up through our body, through our field. So just imagine that it's spinning, 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 and we're inviting that to be spinning off, to be spinning out anything that's old, anything that doesn't serve us, anything that's ready to be cleared out and be not a part of moving through to the next, because we're in this continuing cycle of that, aren't we? We're moving things through from one place to the next. We're moving up levels, but this is a new energy that just feels like it's come in today. And I noticed that Bilal posted something as well around that, about how he didn't recognize this energy. So I haven't had a chance to go and read anything more than that, but I just saw that he wrote something about that. Anyway, the spinning, let it spin through. So just close my eyes doing that with you. You just notice that things might be flying out of your field. It's quite powerful. And let's call in the power and the codes of the 144 or the 1444. I want to call that in to elicit its power. So there's golden light, this golden starlight infinity symbol spinning disc. And then when it's spun out the top, gather it up and make it into an asterisk. So make that flat disc into an asterisk by repeating it. So placing 4 of those flat discs, overlapping them with one another. And what I am guided to tell you to do, so you just do it if it feels right, because I haven't done this. This has just come. I want you to visualize that you are placing that asterisk in the top of your crown. This golden light of infinity symbols. And you're going to allow it to drop down through your central vertical pillar, clearing and cleaning it out. And I'm inviting you to do it as a little bit of a coffee plunger exercise. So drop it down to the throat and then up. And then drop it down to the base of the throat and then up. I want to say I can feel quite a lot of stuckness in the throat. So whether that's just me or whether that's just you here on the call or whether that's the collective, I suspect it might be all of those. So let it move down to the thymus now and back up. Invite it to clear the throat. Take a breath and then run that star down to the heart. And then let it come up and out. So it can bring out any residue that it needs to clear out. And then drop it back down, right down to the bottom of the, well, drop it down to the belly button now. That golden asterisk made of infinity symbols. Yeah, I want you to do that three times, actually. Do that area 3 times. So from the soul star above the head all the way down to the belly button and up. Spinning, clearing, energizing, removing all and anything that doesn't serve you for this next part. Probably you're up to the 3rd one now, so do that. Some release coming for me anyway. And now down to the groin, to the sacral. And I want to suggest that when it comes to the sacral, let it move horizontally back and forth a couple of times and then bring it back up. Do that twice. And now I want you to drop it down and let it sit at your tailbone, spinning there. And then release. And then bring it back to spinning there and plunge it down into the ground, into the earth. Yeah. Inviting you to be grounded into the energies and energetics and frequencies, signs and codes that are coming in for this higher level upgrade this higher level upgrade of DNA to higher level consciousness through, I want to say, all and each of the chakra systems, all and each of the organs as well, or at least let's call in those that, let's call the I am presence to monitor which of those they are. But we're inviting our body to come up to a higher level now in its chakra system and in its organs and in the whatever else is relevant to this upgrade. I don't know what else. Maybe even in the cells. But let's just leave it for that at the moment, because it's definitely, this energy that came in definitely relates to this higher level consciousness of divine gifts, and the upper, it's like an upper platform chakra system, if you like. Yeah, so just share, if you're happy to, just share what that is, that little exercise, what that feels like in your body. So I want to say things are going to be a bit topsy-turvy through this, and that we're going to feel a little bit lost maybe. And so just, I want to suggest that when this is happening, that you just ask your higher self, is this the upper level upgrade that I'm receiving? Because I feel that's what we're going to go through. And I want to say quickly, it's going to happen quickly, because it's like we've got the foundation of who we are is there, the foundation of the chakra experience, the opening of it. We're coming into more of that. Definitely, that's something that Lady Sarah said to me today. She said, your heart is being opened to a whole new level. So that won't just apply to me. So I got information today about this Rita, the brain upgrade, the higher consciousness, the chakra upgrade, and the heart expansion. And yeah, so we're in this experience in the physical, this maybe the merging of the subtle body into the physical body, that well, not maybe, that as well, we're at least we're in preparation for that. So this is where we're at. This is, this is another upgrade, another level beyond human 2.0. Yeah, I want to call it human 3.3 actually. That's what just came then. Oh, wow, Ciela. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you. Ciella's just saying it was mad that what I guided was already happening by itself. Oh, that's just really good synchronizing, isn't it? Yeah, so I just wanted to come on for that, and, feel free to come back in and do that exercise again as soon as YouTube's run its system to integrate this. Peaceful, good. Yeah, I feel that this level that we're coming to holds a lot of that, those qualities of peace, the qualities of freedom, this equilibrium that's coming through all of our systems, of being able to really sit comfortably in the unknown, because we're also sort of riding the, I want to call it riding the coattails of the bliss codes. So we're in a pretty amazing energetic time. And thank you for joining me. And a couple of other things I wanted to tell you is that if you want to have any of my artwork or have a look at it, it's still on sale, because I haven't got around to to talking to my IT guy. And so I will, it won't be on sale for very much longer. And all of the artwork, I think, is about 25 to 30% off. So if you wanted to get your own copy of Gaia, or of the Abundance Temple, or of the Energy of Mary, that's what this is here, and there's others as well. Then go and have a look on my website, on the shop on my website, which is sharonmartin.com. And also, I want to thank you, those people who gave me feedback about whether they liked posts or videos. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And I've found a way through the choppiness that was happening with YouTube script. So I'm just going to type it all into YouTube and then I'll copy and paste it from there because it just wasn't accepting a copy and paste. So then I was ending up keying it in twice. So I really appreciate the feedback about that. And also, did you have a look? Did you feel drawn to coming on this trip to the Bahamas to Bimini to go swimming with the dolphins? So I've read more of the material now, and we actually. So I didn't know all of this, but we actually snorkel over part of the road from the ancient city of Atlantis. So Spirit had told me a long time ago, and many of you will have experiences of knowing that Atlantis, or the memories of Atlantis, well, when they were coming up everywhere, and I don't remember when, but a few years ago anyway, but quite a long time ago, when I was kind of in this looking at Atlantis and the past life experiences and a lot of past life um, information coming up for people in my sessions. And I asked Spirit, does Atlantis still exist? Is it real? Is it a tangible space? And where is it? And I got given that name, Bimini. And I thought, well, because I'm a bit disrespectful at times of some of the information that I get given, and I thought, Bimini, that's a pretty funny name. And I thought, oh, well, we'll see whether that exists. Well, it does. And then that comes up in what Rebecca had written about the trip. So we're actually going to be snorkeling over along one of the ancient roadways from the city of Atlantis from way back then. The Bindu Chakra is also called I'm just trying to read it, Barrett. Hello, Leah. I can't read it because there's a heart in front of it. Hold on. Can I get rid of that? No. I can't read that word. Barrett. The Bindu Chakra. Oh, the Alta Major Chakra. Oh, I don't know. But I will look that up. So different kind of spiritual groups or practices call these by different names. And so irrespective of what we call it, that's where that energy. So we've had energy coming in here through the crown, and we've had energy coming in through the occipital bone, that soft cavity in there, but this is above that, and that's what it's to do with. And so I believe that we can expect that we're going to get this through all of our systems, this upgrade, this DNA refinement for us to come into a higher level of consciousness, improved vision, and this whole idea that whatever our gifts are now are going to a whole new scale. So I wish you a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. I thank you all so much for joining me, and we will ride these bliss codes and just be with yourself. Be with the breath. When you awaken in the morning, attune to self, attune to the breath, drop into the heart, connect to Gaia, connect to Source. Try and spend some time in nature, because nature is such a good ally for us in our alignment. Fiona's being called back to Uluru. Well, Uluru is an amazing frequency, isn't it? And that holds the heart center. I think it's the heart center of, or is it what is it? Is it this the umbilical? That's what I'm hearing. The umbilical connects to Uluru. So maybe it's the sacral. It was interesting when I spent a few nights in Uluru, and I hung out with this young Aboriginal woman who was just starting to learn the language, so the her native tongue, and so that was I learned stuff about the culture because of that. But I tell you, I was sleeping in a bunk at the backpackers. The bunk was in a room made of concrete blocks on a concrete pad, and I was there for 3 nights. And the at least the I had someone else join me, and I don't think it did when he was there. But the 2 nights that I was there on my own, it vibrated. My concrete block, little bunker with my bunk in it, vibrated all night, and it's a powerful energy. So there's lots of conversation that we can share around all the sacred spaces that some of us have been to, and we all have been to different places. But I am going to leave you now and just, so much gratitude. We are in such an exciting time, and there is so much happening for the masculine, Craig. Would you agree? That the masculine are really, I guess, could say that they are in the challenge of finding their way to stay in their masculinity while embracing their femininity. I had a conversation with somebody about that today. That was the solution that came from me. And then afterwards, I thought, I bet that applies to a lot of the men in our world, just as it applies to us. That's what I've been speaking about for us, for the feminine, to take the masculine and wrap our own masculine and wrap it around our own feminine. And that's what the men in our world, I believe, are doing now, because they are probably being challenged. Craig won't be challenged by this, but he might still recognize it, by this vulnerability, by this emotional action that's going on in the body, in the heart, and in the feeling, in the sensory. So it's exciting because this is the leveling up, because it's been the masculine aspect held space for the feminine. Now the feminine leading the way to move through the veils, the boundaries, the dimensional levels, so the masculine can come. And so each of us has been in this balancing act within self and in the collective, and we are on the tipping point again. And so it's going to be very interesting. Well, here in New Zealand, we hit the day first, so the dawn shines first in here in New Zealand. We're the first people to see the light of the day, and often, though, it feels to me like the day builds, so that as more receive the energy builds. And so it can change, but this is what I feel. I feel that we're in this, and it'll be interesting to see what comes in on the first and second, which I haven't tuned into yet, because I really wanted to soak in this. That's how it felt to me. Don't get into May yet. Just soak in these last 3 days of April, which feel beautiful, high energy, and new, fresh, up leveling, upgrading, and it's like the last of the for us, the last of the letting go, so we can really begin to rise more quickly now. So it's interesting how this is showing up, this new kind of up leveled chakra systems dropping in that way. Is it? Thank you. Fiona is saying, all these 8s have been felt very much about balancing and weaving of feminine and masculine. Yes. And that today is a special southern hemisphere of Samhain and the northern hemisphere Beltane. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know it fell on this date. Okay. All right, so I wish you a beautiful evening and a gentle dive into May, but don't dive early. Soak in these beautiful energies. We'll speak again soon. Much love.